Page 20, the rain. Getting a little more involved. The piece is a little longer. Let's talk about it. There's nothing new being added. However, I'm going to add something new just because I'm mean and I know it. Let's look this over. I go through the routine of learning a new piece of music. We see it's about 1.5 lines long, however many measures that is. I don't know. I'm too lazy to count them. Treble and bass clef, 4/4 time signature. And looking it over, I see there's quarter notes, half notes, and whole notes in it. The hands, most of the time it's one hand or the other, but I see one measure there where the hands are playing at the same time. For the whole notes, okay. Now normally I do this one hand at a time, make sure, because the hands are playing together in that one measure, but I want to shorten this video up a little bit, otherwise it's going to last forever, and then you get bored, and I get bored, and everybody's bored. Oh. So I'm going to take both hands together because they have doing one hand at a time for the most part. And they don't give you any finger numbers here. Now I think that's an error. First note for each hand should have a finger number, in my opinion. But I'm going to tell you right off that we're in middle C position here. So just use whatever fingers on those notes. So we got the 2 E's here, and then here, and then these. And this is, again, where you go through the drill, play it and say it. Do you know the names of all these notes in the music instantly? So it's E, E, C, C, D, D, B. You just go through, forget the rhythm, you just go through and say the notes and play them. Then we try it with the notes and we understand what the... And then for the whole notes, the B and D together, here, both hands, and then you go on. You get the idea, I hope. Once you can do that, you make sure you can count it correctly. Each note is the right length. And once you have the rhythm down, you don't need to count it anymore. You feel the rhythm. You go through and get rid of the hesitations. No hesitations anyway. You can go as slow as you want to go. It's not important how fast you go, but no hesitations. And again, I'm not saying it in the videos, I should. You don't need to be looking at the keyboard for this. You want to get the feel for where everything is on the keyboard. And so you want to just feel where these keys are, where your fingers are on the keys. You have to remember which finger is on which key. So try and do this eventually without looking at the keyboard. You may have to look at first, it's up to you, but try and get it where you don't have to look at the keyboard. As far as interpreting goes, I want to introduce you to a little more advanced concept. And now if you're struggling, you can forget all this. But if you're getting this pretty well, then let's think about this too. We talk in sentences. You and me, everybody, normally we talk in sentences. You have a sentence. This is a sentence. This is another sentence. We talk in sentences. And between the sentence, there's usually a little bit of silence. Or sometimes we take a breath between the sentences. Whatever. Well, music is played in sentences most of the time. And trying to figure out where the sentences are can be a bit of a struggle. But if you can figure it out and you understand where the sentences are, it helps in interpreting the music. Now for me to figure out where the sentences are, I have to play the melody kind of fast. That helps me hear the sentence better. So here it'd be. To me, that's one musical thought. That's one sentence. And then it goes on. That's another sentence. It's like a statement and a reply almost. 2 sentences. That's how I would feel it. Other people might think, well, this is... That could be a sentence. In my mind, that's incomplete, but that could be a sentence. So it's up to the person on how they interpret the music. My point is, in the sentences, if you're not always following the commas, lifting up between commas, you don't have to. You can lift up between the sentences. So I could connect everything up to the whole note, because that's one sentence. Then lift up. Like taking a breath. Just cut the whole note a little bit short, and then go on for the next sentence. That's interpreting the music. They have commas in here, but if I go pitter, it tends to make the music a little bit choppy. You go chop, 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 chop. I personally don't care for choppy music unless it's meant to be choppy. So I want it to flow. So I would not, I don't think in this case, lift up between the commas. I'm just going to lift up between the sentences, which means I'm going to lift up on the whole note. I'm going to cut the whole note a little bit short, like taking a breath. Otherwise, I'm going to connect everything together. You see, there's a lot of judgment here. There's no absolute, you have to do it this way or whatever. When it comes to interpreting music, again, this is why different people can play the same piece of music so many different ways. They interpret it differently. There's a comma there after the end of the second measure. After rain here, there's a comma. If you want to lift up there, you can lift up there. I mean, it's... You can lift up there. That's another way to interpret it. It's up to you. For me, I think I'm just going to connect it all together until I get to the whole note. I'm just going to lift up between two phrases, two sentences. Let's play this together very slowly and double check that you have the correct notes and rhythms. I am going to lift up on the whole note, put a little silence before I go on, like I was talking about. You don't have to, you can connect the whole thing if you'd like. So I'll give us 4 counts because it's a 4/4 time. 1, 2, ready, go. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, off. There is a duet for this, or a teacher's part for this. I'd like to play that, and you play what you just played. Now again, the teacher's part's got a lot of half notes in it, so we need to keep the beat. So I'm going to play quarter notes throughout. I'll make something up, so we can you need to hear the beat. So let's try this together. I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. 2, 3, 4, off.